The PMP exam is changing to the configuration, which will be the people, the process, and the business. It's important to note that people is 42% of your exam, process is 50% of your exam, business is 8% of your exam. People, I like looking at it as split between agile and hybrid and predictive. So agile and hybrid, think of that as half of the pie. Think of predictive as half of the pie. Same thing for process, agile and hybrid. You got to think about this as 25%, and predictive, think about this as 25% as well. Same thing for business. Think about this as a 4-4 split. That is the best way to approach this new exam, agile and hybrid, and then predictive. Okay. Now let's go through how to rationalize the people piece of the equation. So let's talk about people. When you think about people, it is important to realize that people will be largely centered on Chapter 9 in the PMBOK Guide. And Chapter 9 is resource management. Don't forget, we also have Chapter 13 that focuses on stakeholders. So this is also a very big part of people. You also want to remember communications. Chapter 10 is also going to be a very big part of the people piece. Now, other chapters, which I'll give more of a secondary reference, is procurement, Chapter 12, and also Chapter 4 of integration. You got to think about integration as another piece to consider. Now, in the people piece, we have 14 tasks. Let's go through them one by one. Task 1 is manage conflict. When you think about conflict, you need to remember that we solve problems and manage conflict and interact in ways that are a little bit different in the world of Agile. So when you take a look at task 1, you got to remember that we have in the world of Agile something different from the world of predictive. This is a project managed team, whereas this one is a self-organized team. And the dynamics are going to be different as a result of that. The way you manage conflict in the world of Agile is different. You need to remember that in this world, we focus largely on techniques talked about in the PMBOK Guide, such as smooth or accommodate. compromise, or reconcile. Withdraw or avoid. Force or direct. Collaborate or problem solve. But these are not enough, my friends, to sustain what you need for task one. Task one needs to address other topics. And this is why this new exam should not be looked at as an easy cakewalk. When you take a look at this, you need to understand the 5 stages of conflict, which we will not cover here. You also should understand the Thomas Kilmann model, which is really what all of this is about. The Thomas Kilmann model enables you to see why people would choose one over the other. So the last enabler, evaluate, recommend, reconcile the appropriate conflict resolution solution, you need to have some idea, some perspective to how this Thomas Kilmann conflict resolution instrument is used for you to understand the context of choosing smooth, compromise, reconcile, and so on. I also talk about the Hersey-Blanchard model, where you understand the 3 perspectives to conflict. And that is why I would recommend, if you're not solid on a lot of these topics, you need additional help, you need to focus additionally, and you can do that in our training course. To sign up for the training, you need to go on down to projectmanagementmasterclass.com. All right, so go on down to projectmanagementmasterclass.com and you can sign up for training that puts a lot of this stuff into context and helps you make sense of it. But task one is you need to interpret the source and stage of the conflict. You need to analyze the context for the conflict, and then you need to evaluate, recommend, and reconcile the appropriate conflict resolution solution. So you could get questions that test you on conflict from a situational standpoint, either from the world of Agile or from the world of predictive. The way it works in the world of predictive is different from the way it works in the world of Agile. In the world of Agile, the team needs to be responsible for ensuring that their conflict is resolved internally as a team. But we also have the Scrum Master or someone to that effect who should help get in that conflict situation and help those who are unable to solve the conflict to do so. Give them some help and encouragement and point them in the right direction. I hope this helped you to better understand what is at stake for the new exam. It's going to be a lot of content to cover, but it's absolutely doable. You can pass this exam. Bye for now.